Hello everybody, it is Purple Nova, and today's video is Satisfactory. We are going to be unlocking the last parts of Tier 8 in our hub. Now this includes the particle enrichment, which gives us nitric acid, packaged nitric acid, non-fissile uranium, plutonium pellets, encased plutonium cells, plutonium fuel rods, particle accelerator, copper powder, pressure conversion cubes, and nuclear paste. All very complicated stuff to make, but first we have to unlock the leading edge production, which unlocks us turbo motors, the miner Mark III, and thermal propulsion system. And to unlock this, we need 50 fused modular frames, 100 supercomputers, and 1,000 steel pipes, which we conveniently have in our inventory. And nice and easy, and we will launch this pod up. And what does the lady have to say to us?
The miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly.
Yay!
Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best.
Screw
Fix
that.
it didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Yeah, I'm so happy I was hired on like that. Don't pay attention to what's outside or the fact that I'm holding a candy cane. That's for another video. But they all kind of match up. So we're going to create these turbo motors. I'm not going to create a factory for them. We're just going to build them here in our home base, since we're so close to creating the factories for the phase 4, completing phase 4. So we're just going to create them in our good old manufacturer room, which holds 10 manufacturers. Now these turbo motors require cooling systems, they require radio control units, and rubber and motors. So pretty intense stuff. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Now our cooling systems, we should have more cooling systems than we do. So I'm gonna have to go and check on that. So at our cooling system facility, I see our problem. We did not put our dimensional depot on facing the right way. So we technically, I mean, we've got cooling systems, but we just they weren't going into dimensional depot, which is okay. I'm happy it was that. Everything was green when I got here, so I'm just glad it was working. It was only a dimensional depot thing. But back at our factory, we can now totally fill up all of these manufacturers with our needed resources for these turbo motors. But now with these manufacturers all running, here are what the turbo motors look like on the conveyor belt. These things are actually kind of big. I mean, look at the size of them. Very cool. Yes, I know I flipped this wrong, but we're just gonna send this into there. They're all gonna load up into, well, into here. And so in a short amount of time, shorter than you'd think, we now have 50 motors. Or 50 turbo motors, which is what we need to unlock the next phase of our hub. And so what we need for this upgrade are 50 turbo motors, 100 fused modular frames, if I did get that name right, 200 cooling systems, and 2,500 quickwire, which that's a lot of quickwire. But look at that. That is all of Tier 8 now officially unlocked. Very exciting stuff.
Project part number 9, nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator.
We're calling it nuclear paste.
The accelerator has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory.
Yeah.
Fix-It does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant.
Oh, heck yeah.
Fun fact. Fix-It psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so the big unlock here is the particle accelerator, which we can build one of these. And look at the size of this thing. Why can I'm missing quickwire? Jeez Louise. I mean, golly, look at this. Absolutely behemoth of a machine. So cool, though. I love the rings. I love how it's rings. It's particle acceleration. So if we look in here, we have 2 things that we can unlock. So the first one is plutonium pellets. So that comes from uranium waste and non-fissile uranium, which we got to figure out how to create that. And then the nuclear paste, which, oh gosh, this produces 0.5 per minute. Yeah, 0.5 per minute. So, wait. One nuclear, yeah, 0.5 per minute. That's, wow. That's kind of crazy. So the pressure conversion cubes that comes from are built in, I'm guessing, the manufacturer. No. What? They're built in the assembler. Who'd have thought, you know? So it's great. It takes a fused modular frame and 2 radio control units to make one of those. That's not that bad, actually. Well, it's quite a lot, but that's not that bad. That's reasonable, since we make so many of them, and we only need 100 of them, which means we only need 100 of the pressure conversion cubes, which we can just make at our home factory here, and it'll be a piece of pie. And so what we're going to focus on today is this non-fissile uranium. Ugh, this thing, good golly. So it takes 15 uranium waste, or 37.5 uranium waste per minute. It takes 25 silica per minute, 15 nitric acid per minute, and 15 sulfuric acid per minute to create non-fissile, 50 per minute non-fissile uranium, and 15 water per minute. So here's the loop that it throws you for. So the water that is used for the non-fissile uranium, that is a byproduct, can be pumped back into sulfuric acid. That is, I believe, a 1-to-1 ratio for water that can be used in that sulfuric acid. That's interesting. But the nitric acid is produced in here. The nitric acid, which is nitrogen gas, water, and iron plates. And then beyond that, there's a silica, and the silica is a byproduct, I believe. No, it's not of sulfuric acid. So the silica we'll just need to bring in, and then the uranium waste will just diverge our uranium waste to this, wherever we're building this factory, which is going to actually be an extension of our latest factory, which is the cooling system and the fused modular frame factory. And based off of my calculations, when our nuclear power plants are in full function, they produce enough nuclear waste to fuel 14.6 repeating blenders. So we need to be able to hold 14.6 blenders. That's a lot of blenders. I don't know if you realize that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're just gonna do 3 rows of 5, and then just have one be not so I don't know, crazy in production. So yeah. So I mean, like, this is an absolute boatload of blenders just for nuclear waste. Okay, I guess we're gonna do it. Well, that's the whole point. So that way we can do it. And so now with all the logistics in place, I realized, about pretty much done with the logistics, that the what we use the plutonium pellets for, we put them in an assembler with uranium waste. And so we don't use all the uranium waste for the plutonium pellets. We use that for, like, 75% of the uranium waste goes to plutonium pellets, while the other 25% goes to the next part of the whole plutonium fuel, whatever you want to call it. So I just had to delete 4 blenders because we won't be using the 4 blenders. We only need exactly 11 blenders for the plutonium pellets, which is okay. I'm happy we figured that out now. But next up is the refineries for our nitric acid and sulfuric acid. And so we're going to place those over yonder, we're gonna extend this way. And so with calculations, we're gonna need technically 5.5 blenders for nitric acid, but we're gonna 50% extra overclock this one. As you can see, it produces 45 per minute because we needed 165 nitric acid for all of this. And then we need 3.3 for sulfuric acid, which we're just going to pop this one down to 33. Actually, let's do 34. Just that way we're for sure producing enough. And then we're gonna make these all yellow. Yes, yellow. And then we have to add our logistics, which I think turned out pretty good. We got everything color coordinated. We've got yellow for sulfuric acid, blue for water, got kind of this gray for this nitric acid, and then sulfuric acid again, yellow. Then we got our our route for iron plates, and on the other side for our sulfur. So I believe that's kind of everything that we need to do here in terms of creating the plutonium pellets. Next up will be to add our iron, which will look something like this, which is quite simple. It's right next to where our copper is that we're bringing up there. There's some iron nodes. We're just going to use one of them. I'll mark 2 on it. Produces 120 ore per minute. We take 90 of it. And those 90 then create 60 iron plates, which those 60 iron plates are going to go all the way up to yonder. As such, from a whatchamacallit, a thingy, brought all the way down to yonder. So those iron plates are then going to go up and in. So these blenders are complete for their physical things, and then we got to add our nitric acid to those blenders, which we use the rest of our nitrogen nodes, as each of them produce 120. And so with 5 of them going into one node, that produces 600. Then the last one going into a single pipeline, because we need 660 nitrogen gas, and our pipes only hold 600, so we just have to have one for like one of the blenders. Oh well, is what it is. One of the blenders gets its own special pipeline. So that concludes our nitrogen gas, our iron plates, and next up is our water. And so basically we need about 2.5 pumps for our water. Right now we're surging our water into our sulfuric acid pipeline and filling up these buffers, so that way the sulfuric acid will always have enough water as every single thing like fills up and stuff. There'll be enough water so that everything still functions properly, hence why the buffers. So we're just filling it up. So next up on our list for things to build is our assemblers, which are going to be assembling our non-fissile uranium and our uranium waste to create plutonium cells. Or I guess plutonium pellets is actually what they're called. And so our next phase is going to be adding another level to this factory and placing down our, where are they? Our new particle accelerators for the plutonium pellets. Because that's where they're produced, and we need 5.5 of these bad boys. These things are massive. I need 5.5 of them. So we're just gonna, gosh, I don't even know how to lay these out because these are so big. That's what she said. Sorry. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna flip it and do 4, 5, and 6. Look at the size of these things. So they take nuclear waste and non-fissile uranium to produce plutonium pellets. It's just, I mean, these things are just massive. I love it. I really do enjoy just how large they are. I think that's a pretty damn cool thing to have. So we just got to bring our uranium and our non-fissile uranium. And so with our logistics set up for all these particle accelerators, we now have to bring it all into the assembler, which takes, we take a look, it takes our encased plutonium pellets and puts them into concrete, or not puts them into, puts them with concrete to create encased plutonium cells. And so with our now 16.5 assemblers in place, we now need to build the next level, which is going to be used for our, where are they at? For our manufacturers. We aren't done on that site, that other level, but we're just going to use this level for manufacturers. And we need 12 manufacturers, I believe. Yeah, 12 manufacturers. Well, 11.78. But we're going to make it 12, which is so many manufacturers. Dude, this is crazy. This is such a bigger build than I thought it was going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to flip it and do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now it's time to logistify all of it. We're doing our kind of down the middle, all of our splitters technique again, which is gonna be fun right at the end here. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But sadly, we are not done with this factory yet, even though you would hope we would be. But we have to now create the areas for the steel beams, electromagnetic control rods, and heat sinks. And so we're going to extend our base out to the south of where we're producing, because we kind of have it extended, but we're going to extend it a little more. We're just going to work around our refineries. And so the first thing I want to add in is what we need for heat sinks, which is 4 assemblers for heat sinks, which will look something like this. Very nice, very nice. We're going to try to keep things color coordinated as we go along. I did some coloring because, you know, it makes it look nice. And so next up is our electromagnetic control rods, which are 4.5 assemblers. And that's for the electromagnetic control rods. We then need to produce the assemblers for what these are made out of, which is stators and AI limiters. And so with the completion of our logistics, everything now is set up for these electromagnetic control rods, at least for the assembler side of things, which are stators and AI limiters, which now we need to create the factory, create the part of the factory that feeds these things, which AI limiters need copper sheets and quick wire, and the stators need steel pipe and wire. So a lot of constructors, let's just say. So we're gonna take our copper sheets from where we're producing the copper sheets for their factory, and then we'll just create what we need for quick wire or steel pipes, and for what am I doing? For steel pipes and for wire. And that looks a little something like this. Somehow we were able to get everything relatively fit well here. So I'll give you a rundown. We've got our deuterium over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 constructors that create quick wire, which come from, is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smelters that create the deuterium ingots. And then we've got our line of copper stuff, which is copper sheets and wire. And we're going to bring all of our copper ingots from our copper node down there. We'll make it work to create all the copper ingots that we need. Then we got our stuff for our steel production. We need 9 foundries for steel ingots, which then go into 4 constructors for steel pipes, which then lead into these assemblers. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 constructors for, sorry, these were steel beams. 4 constructors for steel beams and 5 constructors for steel pipes. And I think that's pretty much everything we need at this factory. Well, all of this stuff, all the production stuff. Now we need to create the train system and set that up. I don't really know how I want to do that. We have a train over there, our rail, and we have a rail over there. So I think we're just going to bring our train off of there, bring it through here, like through this section, and then plop it out over yonder, if that makes any sense. So let's set that up. So for our train station, we are going to need a thing for, let's see, we need coal, we need limestone, we need sulfur, and we need deuterium. And everything else, our iron and our copper, are going to be brought in manually through conveyor belts that come from down yonder. That should work nicely, I hope. Okay, now it's time to set up the rail system. So I will meet you and give you updates when we have created the station, or each of these stations for each of the resources. So our first thing that we're going to be bringing to our factory is our quartz, which we're just manually bringing it. I'm going to call it manually when we just do the straight conveyor belt, because this is a pure quartz node. We're not very far away, so it's just, I don't know, I feel like it makes it a little easier on our train and making sure that our train runs smoothly if we just do our close nodes manually. So it just makes it so much easier. So our next thing we're going to be bringing up is our deuterium, and that's right next to our copper node. So we don't even need a train station for our deuterium. We're just gonna give it the good old sendaroo. And we need 200 and something, 270. Yeah, 270. So we're just going to overclock it all the way. Easy enough, really. It's quite simple. One station I forgot to add, which is kind of the most important part of this, is our uranium waste. I don't know why we didn't think of that, but it's our, I'll have to double check at our facility to see which is our uranium waste, which level it comes out at. But back down by our copper and deuterium, we will be bringing iron ore, which we need. Let's see, you produce 120, and we need about, how much did I calculate? 405. So pump you up to 240. So 240, 360, 420. Is that right? I think that's right. Overclocking is so much easier than trying to not overclock things. We're just gonna overclock whatever we can. We've got the power slugs for it. Eventually we will need to farm power slugs from our doggos again. But right now we have a decent amount. We keep finding them here and there, you know. Power slugs, power shards, slugs, whatever you want to call them. But now we need to come to our copper node and upgrade it to produce at least 400 is what we need it to produce. So we will actually, I'm gonna take everything out and we're gonna upgrade this one to our first Mark III miner thingy. So now we're cooking. 480. It's a little insane. We need, what did I say, 400? Yeah. Look at the size of this thing. That's about the same size. It's so bulky. It's so crazy, dude. Crazy stuff. And then we got to upgrade our smelters down here to compensate for the extra copper. So basically, we're just adding all these smelters just everywhere we can. I just, you know, I said screw it. We're putting them anywhere because, you know, it's kind of par for the course up here. You know, everything's kind of already a cluster fluck. Might as well embrace it and produce all the copper in the world from one copper node because we can. So shaboom. Now we're producing just an absolute boatload of copper, 420 to be exact per minute. If you were wondering and wanted to keep track and counting, that's quite a bit of copper ingots. And so for our coal, there is nodes, like here's our drones, so there they are. There's nodes right next to our rail system, which is very convenient. Very happy we've got that. So basically we just connect these up to power, then they turn on. Very nice. So that's our coal. So a crazy part about the whole limestone thing is I didn't realize how many damn constructors we needed for this. We needed a maxed out Mark III. Well, we could do maxed out. And then another Mark III. And then we needed 22 constructors to convert limestone into concrete. Because we wanted to create the concrete here before we brought it to the factory. So that's what we did. And now we have a boatload of constructors worth for concrete. And we're producing so much concrete. It's a little ridiculous. But the concrete goes, and we're connecting it up to our okay, that color, to our coal, because why not? Might as well bring it all in. So next up is sulfur. So for our sulfur train, or sulfur part of our train system, oh, of course you aren't gonna connect where I want you to connect. Fine, we'll just go from there. We'll just go from here, and I'll add you to wherever I need to add you to, which is gonna be, man, where the heck does this train go? Truthfully, to there. Okay, if you insist. Just do a block right there. There we go. There's our block for our sulfur train. Well, it's the same train, just gonna do different things. Ah, there's our radiation nuclear waste train. How convenient. Oh, I should have counted the cars. Damn it. Would have been a good idea. Oh well. But basically, we're putting a Mark III miner on here, which then pumps out 240 sulfur, and we need like 200 sulfur. So we'll be good on sulfur. I'm just gonna name this sulfur. So back at our factory, I checked, and our nuclear waste is on rail 7, or is on car 7. Which means this is just absolutely so freaking long. But that's okay. It is what it is. But now, all we have to do is connect up our stuff. And so now with everything, well, I believe to be ready to be turned on, there were a few kinks here and there. I did forget some copper sheets that I needed to create, so I had to do a little outlet. It was just 9 constructors of copper sheets, and then just had to produce more copper ingots. But beyond that, everything should be hooked up, should be ready to go. We still need to create our nuclear plants, like the nuclear, the actual power plants, whatever you want to call them. But we'll do that at the very end. But we should be ready to set up this train's timetable, which we're gonna go. It's gonna go to sulfur and then to coal and concrete, or it's gonna go, yeah, it's gonna go first to sulfur, and then it's going to go to coal and concrete, and then it's gonna come back to Rotterdam, which is where we're at. And that's all the train's gonna do. That's all this train's gonna do. We're gonna turn on self-driving. And that train is off. All right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're actually sending off this train right now. And so then if we go to our timetables, we've got, let's see, nuclear plant alpha. Which one are you? So this is our waste one. We're gonna edit our waste timetable. We are going to remove the waste and we are going to bring it to Rotterdam. So now it brings all the nuclear waste directly to here, which is pretty cool. We're gonna save changes. So that one's gonna stop at Rotterdam, or stop at nuclear plant alpha, and then it'll be on its way to here, which I have no idea what route it's gonna take. Honestly, the train system is already like beyond me in terms of how where the rails all go. But that's all on. And now, this is the fun part, because now we get to grab this power. We're going to bring it to right about, actually, let's bring it to our, we have a couple, and bring it right down. So it's out of sight, out of mind. And we're going to connect you over to here, or not. Really not reach? That's okay. We're underneath, so I really could care less if it looks good underneath. Oh, yo, that's, what an interesting line to say, you know? What an interesting line to say. So now we're going to come to our power switch. We're going to turn this factory on. We don't have the resources, but we have some resources, which is good. So if I flip this switch, it all turns on. So I don't know how much this actually creates. Can max consumption? That made no sense. I have no idea. But anyway, so, oh my gosh, so these blenders turned on. I kind of forgot about that. So these blenders are on, and they are producing the non-fissile uranium in, no, wait, these are different ones. These are producing nitric acid, which is very good to have. But that's what we want. Why do I have mergers coming off of these? These don't produce a byproduct. No, I think I was just crazy when I did that, but we're gonna keep it. We're just going to delete from here. We don't need mergers on that. Well, I'm happy it was that way and not I forgot mergers for it. But they are producing nitric acid. We've got our silica being produced over yonder. There's our silica. We still need sulfur. Let's color code these, just that way we know. Then we need, let's see, is everything color coded correctly? Except for we really need this to be color coded. You're producing, what color are you? You're like a darker blue, aren't you? You that blue? You're like, I don't remember which swatch is which. This one? That one. Yeah, I should have told from the pink. No. Huh? Yeah, that blue? It's like purpley. I don't know what blue you are. You make no sense. Oh, it's this one. Anyway, all the lights are at least yellow or green, which is what we need. Very good to see. Our copper sheets, here's our copper sheets that we had to produce extra of, are coming up, and you need plutonium pellets and concrete. So we have no power though. We need to connect you to our power grid. To do that, we're just gonna bring this down to about yonder. We're gonna go to, and I don't want to bring it all the way across like that. We'll just bring it to like right here. We can connect you up that way. Oh, our first train's here. So this is our coal, sulfur, and concrete, and all three are full. Thank goodness that's working. I was really hoping it would. So all of these should be yellow. We've got some greens. We've got a red over here, which could be you aren't identified. Yeah. So we need you to create encased plutonium cells. Very good. Our stators are, our heat sinks are being created. And then, why aren't you on? There's no power. That's okay. Oh my lordy. Oh, could you not reach? You couldn't reach. Wow. That's okay. So that turns all of these yellow. They're all yellow, which is good. Everything up top here is yellow and green, which is good. And there we go. There's those ingots starting to be produced. We've got our copper filing its way through. We actually need to connect you through. There we go. So now our wire is going to be also starting to be produced. And all of our copper ingots. Every single copper ingot that we could produce, we are producing. It's a lot of copper ingots. It is just a lot of copper ingots. 660, I believe, is what we're producing from that one node. We had to overclock. Well, we didn't have to overclock. We had to use a summer sloop on the smelters to create the extra copper ingots. So our Caterium ingots are being produced, and which leads to our quick wire going through and in. We want the copper sheets to create AI emitters, and then our stators just need the wire, which hopefully you gain some ingots here soon. Yeah, they just aren't making it down. That's okay. When all that goes through, why you seem to be missing plutonium pellets from some, or where do your plutonium? No, it's going the right way. Okay, I was looking at that wrong. I wonder when these are gonna turn on. These don't have anything yet, but when they do, boy oh boy, are they gonna be something. So we just need our nuclear waste, which, speaking of the devil himself, here comes our nuclear waste train. Don't mind the jelly bean in the way. So you should be full of not very nice stuff to touch. Yes, very good. This is our last piece, the last piece of this factory. Finally here, everything else turned on and such. Woo! Thank goodness. That was a little lot to create all this. So you're going to be taking in and nuclear waste. There we go. And it's not uranium, it's nuclear waste is what we'll be taking in. That's going to get split out, diverted, converged, whatever you want to call it. Why are you stopping over here? Ooh, you are not connected. Whoops. My bad. There we go. Now this blender is turned on. Creates 50 per minute of non-fissile uranium. So we should get our first ones soon here. Why are you going up? Oh yeah, we need you up as well. That's right. So there's our non-fissile uranium. Wowzer. That's a lot of that stuff. That's gonna go out. That's gonna go up and over, which then brings it to these particle accelerators. Yes. And there it goes, starting to get diverted, split. I'm really excited to see one of these turn on. So we need 100 non-fissile uranium per minute. We should be producing that. So everything just needs to turn on. That's the kicker. So we just need stuff to fill up to turn on. And we've already used up all of our uranium waste that we currently have. So hopefully this one can turn on. So to see what it all does. So there we go. Oh my gosh! Oh! I've never turned one of these on before! These are so cool! Make sure I'm recording. Okay, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh! No freaking way that that's how the story's. I mean, yeah, but wowzer! Woo-hoo! And there's our plutonium pellets. That was so cool. Oh my gosh. I love that. And all these are going to be doing that. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So are you producing? You are. You're producing plutonium pellets. Everything's going to get real radioactive also. We'll keep that in mind. So how many do you create? Oh, there we go. Plutonium cells. They're making their way. So they're going to go up. And over. They should pop out up here. Yep. There we go. Plutonium cells. And they're going to be split off into these, which these take 30 encased plutonium cells per minute. So it's going to be a bit before we actually get plutonium fuel rods. But when we do, boy oh boy, is it going to be something. And so through the beautiful power of editing, some time has passed and we are bringing in, this is a different train than what we've created, but this one is bringing our nuclear waste from our storage facility that we originally created. And bring everything that it can from there to here, so that way this stuff really gets underway. And there's a lot of nuclear waste, let's just say. I couldn't go very close to it at all. It was deadly. I accidentally picked up like 15 nuclear waste barrels. I died instantly. It was not a pretty sight. It was not very good. But anyway, we're not bringing it in. It should be able to split off and turn on these puppies even more. And there it goes. Good golly, it's gonna be so radioactive. Oh, yep, there we go. Very cool. Yeah, ow, let's just say everything's at a standstill because we need that good old nuclear waste. That's the main ingredient here. But have we created any? I don't think we've created any. It does not seem that we have created any plutonium fuel rods. We have not. Okay, this is just so cool. Wait, now I have 3 of them running. It sounds so cool. And listen to them. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know why one of the carts is red. I don't know why that's happening, but now I can see that the one train I will always be able to see it, at least for now. Oh my gosh! These things are so cool! Oh my gosh, it's so loud, I love it! Oh my goodness, dude. That's so cool. If you aren't amazed by that, then you should be. Because this is absolutely bonkers to me. Ah, so cool. Okay, do you have enough yet? You're at 17. 17. How do you not? We have a bunch being produced now. I don't understand it. All right, so we should be having, yeah, our first plutonium fuel rod is about to be produced. There it goes. Look at that sucker. We'll meet it up top here, because this is where we're going to pop it into our first nuclear power plant. Look at this thing. Highly radioactive. You couldn't tell. We got enough nuts. Oh, we've made 2. Very nice. Look at those things. Wow. Look at that. Super cool. Very cool. I mean, they're kind of cool. Okay, so now we need to add nuclear power plant. Not add a nuclear power plant. Now we need to add nuclear power plant. Yes. So we're gonna place them down. All right. Yonder. And we're gonna see what we need for said nuclear power. So if we come into here, plutonium fuel rods, 0.1 per minute. 0.1. It takes 0.1 per minute. That's insane. That's barely that. We produce so many. And it produces 10 plutonium waste. What the fuck am I supposed to do with the plutonium waste? Guessing we can just recycle it back in. Is what we do with it. It's probably what we're going to do with it. That's insane though. That's a bit insane. So anyway, we need water. Now for our water, we just have one pump right now because I just want to get this turned on. We'll do the further of whatever else we need for it later on. But oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Little water's coming in. Starting to flow, starting to pump in. I just want to see it does 2,500 megawatts again. Which I mean that's a lot, people. That's a lot. Now I'm guessing plutonium waste is just normal nuclear waste. Well, let's have to see. Produces 1 plutonium waste per minute. That's not bad at all. Okay. Puppy's gonna start turning on here. Let's take a look at this. Let's watch it turn on. Here we go. You gonna turn on? Oh, you're not connected to any power. Whoops. My bad. Where's my nearest power? There we go. Wow, you just opened up right away. That's cool. Well, it's producing power now. Good amount of power. It takes 1.1 per minute. It takes 10 minutes to burn one of these. And we produce a lot. Let's just say we really do produce a lot. Like each of these produces 0.4 technically, and 0.25. Sorry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Plus, oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. 12 times 0.25 is 3, right? Let's get our math out here so that way I know what I'm doing. So 12 times 0.25 is, yeah, it's 3. And we're gonna minus 12.5 because I think 1 is at half. So 3 minus 0.125. No. 3 minus 0.125. 2.8. 2.9. We can have 29 of these puppies going. 29. And we're gonna build them all. We're gonna do it. Not this episode though, because I don't even know how long we're going. I mean, these recordings take 2 days to create. It's just so much. We're gonna have so much nuclear power. It's ridiculous. But whoop-de-doo. That's the whole goal. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Big exciting stuff here. Be able to get these things going. Yeah, stay tuned for this to be fully turned on. We'll turn it all on next episode and then get started on our phase 4 stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So again, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.